So you're planning to do this entirely with your own bare hands?
I have no budget, but I do know that we've run out of money. We're going to build that in 1 year.
Some would call it courageous, others sheer folly.
My marriage is on the line.
Where are you going?
I'm just going to spend a few days with my mum.
Steve has devoted most of his life to music. Performing as part of various bands, a singer, songwriter and musician, Steve created the character, an underground monarch, King Curly. Now, King Curly steps off the stage and into the heart of the Blue Mountains. Accompanied by his wife Zelie and their 3 children Lila, Lemuel and Cornelius. Determined to carve a space in this valley to build his dream house. I'm here at the very beginnings of perhaps the grandest project I've ever seen. Steve here, he plans to build a house with nothing but his bare hands.
This is man world.
At present, the land is nothing but a barren, cleared space that this has taken him 2 months already. In only a few weeks' time, Steve plans to move his entire family into a small shed, something like this. It's going to be a hard time. The temperature reaches below 0 down here.
Well, this is our dream home, my family's dream home, and we're carving a hole in the bush, like pristine bushland, and so that we can begin building a straw bale and mud house.
So you're planning to do this entirely with your own bare hands. How's that going to work out, do you think?
Well, take a look for yourself.
They're pretty magical hands.
They've been washed a lot of times and they still ain't clean. Well, we found out that it was so expensive to link to the electricity wires that are on the street that we've decided to go off the grid.
Off the grid?
Yeah.
Now that's a drastic move.
We're going to have our own sewerage plant on site.
Oh, okay. So it sort of filters
It filters into the ground. Yeah, the reeds, the plants naturally filter, your turds.
You've done all of this so far by yourself.
Well, I've had a friend, he's a German over here. There's nothing he loves more than work and poise on fire. I do use free labour. Well, it's not free labour, it's ex-help, it's called, exchange helpers who are international travellers, and in exchange for living at our house and eating our food, they're required to work here 5 hours a day.
Yeah, this is a Swedish fire with the chimney effect. The air comes from the lower side in and it burns the whole night, and it looks really good and it's not dangerous. Good for garden party.
If you wanna, can you find Harry?
Tell me about the wall.
Well, this is a good example of the way we build, in that we're using free materials, which are also recycled materials. There's nothing nicer than, and also the wall is stronger than the conventional wall. It may alarm you and many of the viewers of the show that I have no budget, and I've gone into this with, well, I just don't want to know how much it's going to cost, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to keep going. But I do know that we've run out of money. The banking world is a hostile environment, given that I'm not an employed person.
Again, very unconventional. So what's your time frame? Do you sort of know how long this is going to take, or? work
Well,
out together?
My plan is to build the shed, so my family will move in the shed in 3 months.
Oh yeah.
Then we'll sell our house so that we can build the house.
Wow.
That's the plan, and we're going to build that in 1 year. Everyone I tell it to laughs, but you know, we might do it.
It's only 1 month since my last visit, but Steve and his family are already busy in the mud, preparing a structure for the family to live in, while Steve completes the main house.
This is it's an intense situation where we're struggling to supply these huge numbers of well-meaning community folk who've come to work on this, but we're struggling to supply enough of the cob material. As you can see, they're everywhere. I'm out of breath, but we got lots of people here in this area working all to the same goal of supplying this material to these good people we're putting on the wall. What stage is the building at?
Well, it has to be finished pretty soon,
Why does it have to be finished?
so we can move in.
Steve's attempted this massive task. He's taken it on himself. Some would call it courageous, others sheer folly. But I'll be interested to see how the family's holding up living in this shed which is being constructed.
Hi Zelie,
How's it going?
welcome back.
Wow, the house is looking amazing.
Yeah,
May we come in?
please come in.
Oh, this is the one room, the one main room that is shared by all of us at this stage.
Do you find it at all crowded living in the one room?
Me, not at all, but I guess Sarah would have to speak for herself.
Ah, so attention is present.
Little.
So this is the this is the loft, and we all sleep up here at the moment.
Is that not a bit crowded?
Well, I don't think so. I've no complaints. It's pretty good. You know, the children are they've entered teenagehood, so maybe there's worse to come. But this is Lila. She's the princess of the family, so she's been given the area with the most roof head height, and I made her this, desk for her studies, and she has the best view in the whole house. You can see she looks over the whole valley.
And you can see the foundations of the big house just here.
That's right.
Oh,
House number 2. So this is where we sleep. You can see it's the bottom rung of the ladder, but we're willing to put up with a bit of hardship so that the children are happy.
So you really think that these holes replace a skylight, which would bring an enormous amount of light into this area, which is quite frankly dank.
Well, we don't think so. Oh, honey, do you want to get out of the shot?
Sorry.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm just going to spend a few days with my mum.
How have your mum and dad been getting on?
Terribly. Just too much early on.
So I understand that you didn't originally want to build this second house at all after finishing the first
No.
shed house.
No,
And that's been a point of contention between you and Sahela.
it certainly has. I had an epiphany, an unfortunate epiphany, after I'd finished it. And that was that this house was perfectly fine.
Are you happy living here in this house?
Well, shed. It's good. It's good. But it's good because I know it's only for a year and a half.
All of a sudden, the main house, which we'd all planned all that time, seemed just sort of grotesque.
If it was longer, it wouldn't be good.
Is this what's going to happen? So what made you change your mind?
I'd have to say my marriage was on the line, really.
I'd had this reoccurring dream where I'd wake up and there was these tidal waves, and I live down in the city, so there's things like climbing up through towers and buildings, trying to get through the ceilings to get to the top and not get washed away. And then part of this dream would be that in the mountains there'd be a house, like a boat, sitting on the top. So when the tidal wave came, the boat would just float off onto the other side. So when Steve built this, you know, it's very boat-like. I don't think it's going anywhere, but it makes me feel safe.
We made a deal together, Sahela and I, when we bought this land, to build the house and build the shed. And the deal was that I would build it if I simplified the design to be more economical. So I've made that adjustment, and now I've begun.
And so Steve stuck to his pact, resolved his marriage, and work on the new house began.
Basically, we're doing the concrete slabs for the house now. Yeah.
I've simplified it. It now only has one roof. That'll make it a lot easier and quicker to make. It's just going to have I've gotten rid of all of the sort of, attic-y type stuff to simplify it, so it'll have like a cathedral.
Excellent. So it'll be a
Yeah.
big space.
A very big, very high space, lots of windows, and unusual shaped walls, curves. I was inspired by, the Utzon Opera House thing where they chopped up an apple, I think it was.
1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3.
In this one we've used circles.
I think it looks a bit like the map of Australia at the top.
And it's all split level, so it's designed so that it just follows the slope, so it's all sitting on the dirt. So there's stairs down to the. Each time you go down something, you have to.
So how many bedrooms are there going to be?
3. So there's the boys' bedroom, Lila's bedroom, it's our bedroom.
Way. So these are the foundations here.
Yep. So they're the upper foundations. They're still. So these are on rock, and we were really lucky with the rock, because the rock was only about this far down. And that's the boys' room.
All right. Yeah.
That's Lila's room. That's the bathroom. And this is the kitchen.
So you'll have great views of the landscape from the lounge.
Yeah. That's right. We'll be able to see the bushfire as it thunders towards us.
And this is this down here the reed bed?
Oh yeah.
Because you've got a
Yeah.
fully functioning sewage system.
Yeah, well, we're completely off the grid, so we gather our own water, our own electricity off the shouse, we're calling it now.
Well, the house does look picturesque there.
It does, doesn't it?
Beast of Blue Mountain, you may have heard of me. seen me on TV in someone's yard or in between the wriggling parts of dreams. They argue where I'm from. Come on. Deep space or escaped from a circus traveling.
The project got to the stage where we need cheap labour in the very near future to do cobbing, in particular, you know, the cobbing on the building, and we just can't fit woofers into the house we're living in. And so I was looking for a, you know, caravan or some cheap way of accommodating, you know, woofers, you know, these international travellers, you know, who you feed them and they live with you and work a bit. So I ended up sort of coming to the terrible conclusion that I'd have to build another place. It was just cheaper. So this is the woofer house that I need to have finished this month so that then I can start building the other one. So here we are at ground level completion stage. There's a lot of work in that. There's a lot of concrete, hand poured concrete involved. Inside this concrete slab is hydronic piping, which you can see it coming in and out just here. And so there's pipes that run all through there, coiled around in. We're going to heat hot water with a box, just a glass box outside the building with pipes running through the box. That's going to heat up the concrete and keep the house warm just in the middle of winter. So there'll be earth floors in these rooms. Last night we attempted to have a dance party. 3. None of us knew what we were doing. It was only going to be at this stage once. It was pretty good fun.
Primitive instincts make me nervous in the crowd. The size of the universe is so large.
Hi. Well, here we are again. We're near the end now, and I realise now it doesn't really look that finished because the outside's not finished, but we're going to move in before the outside's finished, and we're hoping to be in, you know, within a month. But we have to be in within a month. Let's go and have a look.
You ask me where I'm going. Can't you tell? Can't you tell?
There are so many forms, and you can see that the author of this, the creator of this building, had to many times to create this house, this building, and it's really fantastic.
And then I said to him, "My God, your house is completely adjacent."
It's been 4 years since I first visited Steve's house in the Blue Mountains. I better go to the Blue Mountains and stop hanging about here.
the glory days for a cowtown boy. Not so the prospects.
Yeah, I think of it as a pretty indulgent kind of a project when I look back at it. And but I'm still glad I did it. But I would have been happy just to stay in, to have finished with the smaller house and just lived in that, because I like the simplicity of the other one.
Get out of here.
This one's sort of like just an art project, really. People come down here and they really love it because it's a bit unusual to look at and all the rest of it. But for me, I think it might have been it's sort of just an indulgence. I mean, I'm only now getting used to the fact that I actually did it. I'm very aware of how many marriages and how many projects just never even get finished. And I think there's sort of almost a self-hypnosis that you have to do just to finish the thing.
So tell me, I hate to ask the question, but how far over budget did you go?
Well, I didn't go over budget at all.
Well, that's the first time I've ever heard that in the history of this series.
Yeah, the house up there and the house here
Yeah.
came to the budget. So there was this vague budget. So we finished on budget. But this building itself was, under budget.
And of course you've been Airbnb-ing out the little house, so in a way it sort of brings back money.
It's pretty amazing, the Airbnb. And so I've forgiven Zelie now for making me build this house.
Yeah,
because it's turned into a sort of a cash cow, the one up the top. And there's an endless amount of people who want to come to a Airbnb that's made out of earth.
It would be the perfect attraction for tourists. I can see why it's so popular. And so have you got any future plans for further projects in the future?
Not just yet. I'm still sort of a little bit resting.
Recovering.
Yeah, still recovering. But I'm now people are now employing me as a sort of artisan, and I'm finding I can get away with quite a lot just by pretending to be an artist. The new phase of my life is going to be learning how to be a gardener and a farmer, because we're going to turn this into a sort of a farm, with some animals and grass.
I've got to say, this is the first project I've been to where the house actually makes money.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
So Steve's dream worked out well. Now he's earning enough money from Airbnb to go back to playing music. King Curly rules again.
See the full flowing fountains